The BMW Z4 is not only a convertible, but it also serves as a daily car and a little grand tour. It is a versatile vehicle. To be more specific, it is a convertible that manages to strike the ideal balance between effortless mobility and refined good looks. Because it is a convertible, it can be utilized for any of the two purposes. It is evident that the chassis was designed with the goal of being driven with the roof under the vehicle. This is evident from the fact that the chassis maintains its rigidity and the cabin is unusually quiet. In spite of the fact that the roof is folded down, the chassis does not move. In spite of the fact that the roof is open, this is the situation. In spite of the fact that this diminutive roadster is already practical due to its spacious trunk and exceptional gas efficiency, there is a possibility that the most cutting-edge infotainment software that BMW has to offer might make it even more user-friendly. This is without taking into account the fact that it is already applicable. At this point, we are not taking into consideration the fact that it is already applicable to the situation that occurred earlier. The Z4's most significant shortcoming is that it does not exhibit the characteristic of sportiness that one would predict based on its specifications and its overall design. This is the most significant negative of the Z4. The most major drawback of the Z4 is that it has this effect. This is without a doubt the most significant shortcoming that exists. This has resulted in a turn of events that is quite discouraging from the perspective of the situation. Furthermore, the wrinkled and graceful style that this automobile possesses is the most astonishing aspect of this automobile. In terms of how it navigates curves, it is comparable to earlier versions of BMW in terms of how it handles curves. There is a possibility that this could be fun for certain drivers. But the Z4 is not even close to competing with other vehicles on the market that provide a higher level of excitement for the same price. It is feasible that some drivers would find this to be delightful, but this is the case regardless of that possibility. However, when compared to other automobiles that are now available on the market, the Z4 is not even close to being able to compete with those other automobiles to the same extent. When the Z4 is supplied with the option of a manual gearbox in the year 2026, it is projected that this particular type of transmission will no longer be available for purchase. This is because the Z4 will be offered with the option of a manual transmission. There are a number of chassis modifications that need to be made in order to give the Z4 the responsiveness that it so sorely needs. These modifications should be carried out. Despite the fact that the stick-shift 2026 BMW Z4 is intended to appeal to a very niche portion of the market, the fact that this vehicle is still accessible at all is a beautifully lucky condition. With the Z4 in mind, this 6-speed gearbox is the component that completes the Handschalter German for handshift equipment that is included in the Z4 as standard equipment. It was created specifically with the Z4 in mind. This was built with the Z4 in mind from the beginning. The Z4 M4OI is the only vehicle that can be purchased with the Handschalter option, which comes with a number of additional characteristics. These features include a more aggressive chassis tuning and staggered wheels. These are two of the additional characteristics that are included as part of the choice from the beginning. Both of these qualities contribute to the general enhancement of the vehicle's appearance, which includes the overall improvement. As a result of the modifications that were made to the software that controls the traction control, steering, differential, and suspension, the ride is now more dynamic and exciting than it would have been in the absence of these modifications. In addition to everything else that is currently available, each and every one of these adjustments is included in the package. Various shades of matte green and a dazzling metallic are the only paint colors that are available for the manual Z4M for OI. In addition, there are other paint colors that may be purchased from the manufacturer. In addition to the metallic finish, there is another choice available to select. Additionally, there is the prospect of utilizing a metallic that is quite impressive in appearance. In light of the fact that there are fewer BMWs available with manual transmissions, it would appear that the Handschalter upgrade, which comes with a price tag of $3,500, is an outlay that is well worth taking into consideration. This is due to the fact that the number of BMWs that are equipped with manual gearboxes is decreasing. A smaller number of these BMWs are currently available for purchase, which is the cause for this situation.